Aloha, my name is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, like up in the sky, joined by Greg Jackson. How's it going, Greg?
Feeling good. I you get you have some Wise products, right?
Wise, I have probably two cameras from a little bit ago. They're stuck in a shelf somewhere.
Oh, okay. So I have a Wise lock bolt that's on my front door,
Hmm.
and my sometimes when I'm taking my son to school, I'll ask him, "Did you lock the door?" And I don't remember. So I've been trying to find a way to, and this one's Bluetooth only because I didn't want it on Wi-Fi. But yeah, I'm playing around with a Wise has a camera that has Bluetooth on it that allows me to remotely unlock it, but it doesn't allow me to remotely lock it. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, but it's fun. They've got some pretty decent products and they're very cheap. I like
They
their
are.
lineup.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just I just saw an ad for their bird feeder camera, and those are getting so popular now, these bird feeder cameras. I mean, they're at Sam's Club, they're all over the place. But yeah, so here we are with our week wrap up. We have these seven topics we talk about, 2 minutes each talk, so we go through them really fast and quick for you. And all these links are down there in the description if you have any interest and comments. You think we're wrong about something, because we're never wrong. But go ahead and put that there in the comments, and love to talk to you about it. All right, first one, let's get going. HDMI 2.2. It's so much better than HDMI 2.1. I mean, HDMI 2.0 should be ashamed, absolutely ashamed of itself. And this is such a pet peeve of mine with HDMI and DisplayPort, and most importantly, USB. Like, is there a USB 3.2 now? And what's the difference between USB 3.0, 3.1, 3.3.2? I mean, they couldn't have messed it up anymore. Like here, it's talking about HDMI 2.2 and bandwidth up to 48 gigabits. Well, it should be HDMI 48G. How about that? Because pretty soon it's going to be 96, and after that it's going to be 192, and pretty soon it's going to be, a terabit, and having that. But the current is excuse me, 2.1 is 48 gigabits. So 2.2 is going to be even faster. But do you have any sense of what these numbers mean in real life? Because what's a regular person supposed to know is what you need? Or is it just the bigger the number, the better?
I think it's bigger the better, especially when you're trying to manage a meeting. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to connect a work laptop to one of the big screens and we're trying to display something at high res, and that high res requires more bandwidth. So yeah, bigger is better.
You've really, see, I've never run into that where you needed more bandwidth on the HDMI. I mean, what would you need? I mean, 48 gigabits, that is a tremendous amount of data because it's all digital there. It does have the sound on there as well, but
Yeah.
unless, I mean, until they get the holographic kind of stuff, that is a lot of, I would check your cables if I was you. But all right, so let's talk about this Klarna. I'd never heard of Klarna before I read this article, but it said about a year ago they stopped hiring people and they're being replaced by AI. Now we hear about that all over the place, AI this, AI that. But what's amazing to me is at some point the humans are going to revolt and start unplugging these machines and wonder, okay, why am I training a thing? I'm not like I'm training a human, right? If I'm retiring and I care about the company and I want someone to not ruin everything that I worked so hard the last 10 years building, I could see training your replacement that way. But what do you do? Like if I have a job and I edit articles to actually train my replacement, I don't even think there's that. It's just a matter of, oh, by the way, Greg, you've been replaced, and it's Alexa or it's Gemini or something like that.
I, when I took an economics class a long, long time ago,
In the
they were telling me it
1900s?
was just right after the wheel. Yeah. Uh, So I think I personally think it's a good thing because there's a lot of tasks that people don't like to do. It's a job quality, and I'm not saying if you do a complete replacement of somebody's job, I'm hopeful that their job scope is probably not very challenging, and they may or may not get a whole lot of job happiness. So I think the more we can automate, the better, and then we can spend our time actually connecting with each other. I think we're too busy staying disconnected. So I'm a big fan of AI.
Yeah, if that was the end result, but I just have my doubts that if people have more time off, they're going to spend that with another human. But yeah, so big problem. This is just a tip of the
Yeah.
iceberg. LAN party. Have you ever been to a serious LAN party?
What's a not a non-serious land party with it?
I, I mean, as opposed to just you and a bunch of friends. I mean, if you went to a building
They
that,
are serious. Those guys are crazy, man. They're very competitive.
right, yeah. I mean, me, Tetris is I play competitive Tetris with my cat, and my cat usually wins. But yeah, so I'm not a gamer per se, but the fact that Nvidia is reviving these LAN parties, they seem to be doing everything right. A 50-hour LAN party, so this one is gonna be in Vegas right before CES, and the amount of Red Bull and um, there was one energy drink had death, like liquid death. I saw someone drinking the other day. I mean, what a name for an energy drink. I mean, the 5 hour energies. I can't imagine. I wonder if Red Bull sponsored it, have it there. But yeah, $125 to sign up. I can't imagine people like your laptop you have now probably has discrete graphics.
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I mean, it's slightly upgraded. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's 64 gigs of RAM. So you don't
yeah,
need to bring an entire CPU with you. You can just bring your laptop and you probably got DisplayPort and HMI or just USB-C, so you can connect to anything with the right dongle. So now there's so much. I remember people used to carry around their CPU and
yeah.
then and a screen with them. Now you got all that there. But yeah, this seems like if this is your world, this would be heaven. 50 hours straight. You always hear about people dying from playing games nonstop, and I would have an EMT on standby. There are going to be some people passing out. Okay, space, the final frontier. And this is the military's talking about, being able to attack something in space. And I believe it. I mean, what would happen if an enemy of the United States or, some other country messed around with the GPS satellites? Like they tried to capture it or destroy it and replace it with something that's going to send false data, bad data. You know, people, you know, people will just follow their GPS into rivers. You ever seen those videos of people just driving down boat ramps? They keep going when they get in the water, to just really mess that up. And imagine if that did happen. So the ability is for quickly to track down that satellite that's jamming GPS. Or anything, Bluetooth or even atomic clocks. Well, you want to mess up some computers, have the clocks be on different times. I mean, that is so. I mean, SSL certs don't work anymore. All the trusts are broken. So yeah, so being able to do that, and like with Starlink, um, so a lot of people are doing Starlink. So it's really gonna be something we need to be able to control.
And I bet this is under Space Force. That would be my guess.
And that's that I would absolutely agree with you.
Yeah,
And they have four-star generals talking about General Saltzman, Space Force Chief of Space
there
Operations.
you go. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. But yeah, it's really going to be a big deal. So this is kind of
Do you
like
know what they
when
do? Do you know what they do when they have two astronauts that argue?
two, no, what do they do?
They they give them some space.
Oh, okay. Oh, dad joke alert, dad joke. Okay, here we go. All right. So fee, is it fee or phi? I have no idea. I think it's fee, like the Greek letter. But their new small language model. So tell me, what is a small language model?
Well, it, it's in the name. So the large language models are basically the things that you and I would use to look something up on like Copilot or something like that. A small language model is going to be a fractional size of the library. So what you can do is you can use specialized. So you could use, there's two reasons why you'd want a small language model. One is to fit it in a smaller compartment, make it mobile. And then the other one is to make it private. And you could build your own model that way. So I was thinking about, one of the projects I had was to make one for autistic kids or for a small school. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And there used to be things called mini computers, and that was when a computer took an entire room. And then there was a mini computer. I remember first time I saw my first mini computer as a RISC system, and it was huge. I'm all, what's mini about this? Because I'd never seen a computer. Yeah. So like anything, small is going to be done. But that goes exactly what you were talking about here, this here, where NVIDIA has this device aimed at hobbyists, $250 for, I'm sure it's kind of stripped down, but it's got some kind of GPU in there. And I'm sure it says portable brains, robots, industrial automation,
Mm.
and those things. So $250 to get you in the game, I think that's fantastic.
So is it like is it a fee for, what is that for?
Uh,
That's the,
this computer here,
yeah.
it's just Jetson computer. I'm sure it's from the
Oh,
Jetsons cartoon.
that was the 5.4 thing or the PHI thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
from the two aren't related, but I could see you loading the small language model on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
machine.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Come on, please keep up. All right. So thinner phone. So what's your daily driver that you have? Your phone?
24 Ultra. Yeah.
Okay. And they're talking now that they want to be thinner than the 8 millimeters of their. Now, there's not many more millimeters you can shave off. I mean, batteries can only be so thin, and the batteries are so thin now, they've kind of got to run, the entire length of the phone. They
Yeah.
have that. So on top of that, you've got heating issues. You've got the LCD that they got to be sandwiched in there, plus all the logic and the cameras. So, having a thinner phone really doesn't entice me anymore. Now, if they shaved off 2 millimeters, that would be 25%. Okay, if it was 4 feet going down to 3 feet, to me that's pretty significant, right? But 2 millimeters, because by the time I get my case on there,
Yeah.
um, it doesn't even resemble the other phone there. So I mean, do you? This is just the next one's got to be thinner. Um,
They're pretty big. I mean, my 24 Ultra is large. I could definitely see the larger phones needing to be thinner. They're talking, I mean, my 24 is a little bit, maybe 10% larger than the 8 would be. So, yeah.
and to me, the problem I have is the bendy. If they can keep it,
Mm,
I would rather have the same size phone and more secure, more drop proof. I'm just worried as they
yeah.
keep getting thinner, they're gonna just get more cracks and everything. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier that this OpenAI researcher, he's a
That was
whistleblower.
sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute tragic.
Yeah.
Um,
So, did you see that there's some people that they say no foul play, but I'm curious why they initiated a health check. What prompted it? Did he just not show up to work or
It just says an email that came in on the afternoon of the 22nd. Um,
uh
yeah, and r really uh, makes you wonder, what was going on. And I hope there's nothing sinister. I mean, this young man, 26 years old, he's got a family. He's got mother, father, probably brothers and sisters there. Um, but
I can
but
imagine a lot of people lashed out at him for speaking up. There's a
and
lot of
and
negativity.
the Whistleblower Protection Act, is that just for some people, or is that like a
Yeah, I don't know.
global, no, not global, but national law kind of thing? But uh, it's a real tragic kind of thing. And I mean, this could be the kind of thing that gets OpenAI shut down, or if they find out that, oh, he was right and they were, violating copyright law. But I mean, everything I've read doesn't seem like the person had an axe to grind. It wasn't like
Yeah.
he got fired and then said that there. But yeah, really tragic that happened. Uh, and that was just a few.
Wasn't there something about AI suggesting people hurt other people or something, or to hurt themselves? I mean, AI's still got a lot of things to fix.
No question about it. No question about it. Okay, so this was Matt and Greg. Hope you enjoyed this. Get any comments, put those down in the comments, and all these links down in the description. And so let's go ahead and be good humans. Aloha.
Aloha.